I have never been so content. I've been kind of itching to make that recipe. I've just kind of learned how to do it, and also she has gotten way more predictable. This is a very interesting question, and I feel like a lot of people don't talk about this. That was one piece of the puzzle I could not connect whenever I was trying to figure out like when he was gonna propose. Pursuing my husband in the little things. It's funny, if you would have asked me like a month postpartum, I would have been like, I don't think I'd have another baby. This has just been such a blessing for me to just sit under teaching and just be there and be fully present. I really feel like we've been overdue for a girls chat, so I thought it'd be fun to do a Q&A and just have a girls night, bake together, get unready together, and just feel like we're having a sleepover, like we're hanging out. I asked you guys on my Instagram to ask me any questions that you had, and you guys really came through. I feel like it's just been a long time since we've caught up. Sam is currently putting Elena down, and he has plans tonight, so it's just us, and we're gonna hang out. So grab yourself a snack, maybe you can bake something alongside me, and let's get to chatting. So we're in my kitchen now. I thought we'd answer a question and then we can get into baking and everything. So we're starting off easy. The very first question is, how are you doing? I feel like this was a great one to start off with because I feel like I just haven't really like shared my heart very much. I have like here and there. In short, I have never been so content in my life. Like being a mom and just being home has just really filled my cup up. And it's not just that I'm a mom. Like I think with each stage of my life, I've just slowly had my cup fill more and more and more. And I just feel like becoming a mom has made my cup overflow in a way that I just did not anticipate. I've truly just been loving my everyday life. Like I love being home. I don't really have this urge to like go and travel or do a trip. And I feel like that's kind of been the hum of my life the past few years of just looking forward to the next thing or wanting the next thing. And not to say like I don't struggle with any form of comparison or desire for something better and newer. Like that is something that I think everybody struggles with. But I've just never been so happy with my everyday life, and I'm just so grateful for that. And I do think a lot of it has to do with I've just been practicing such gratitude and gratefulness to the Lord in every season. And obviously having a newborn and going through that season is really, really challenging. That's not to say it didn't have its challenges. I really struggled. I'll call it baby blues since it didn't last like a prolonged amount of time, but the first like 2 months were really hard mentally, especially the first 4 weeks. So it took some time for me to get to this point, but I feel like God has just made me so keenly aware of his goodness and grace in my life, and I'm just so grateful for that. And it's not even just from the things I have. It's not because I have a home. It's not because I have an amazing husband or because I have a baby. Yes, those things are gifts from him, but I also think I'm just so keenly aware of how short life is and how great God is and how amazing Jesus is and the salvation that we have and the peace that we can have in this crazy world. I feel like that is where my contentment is coming from, and everything else is just like, I don't know, gratefulness is just overflowing from my heart. So long story short, I am doing amazing. I got a couple of items that we're definitely gonna need tonight for baking purposes and also just like enjoying our time from Thrive Market. You guys know I love Thrive Market, and I'm so excited to be working with them on today's video. And stay tuned because they have given me the best code and deal they've ever given me. If you don't know what Thrive Market is, it's a membership-based online grocery store. They have all these amazing brands that I love that are honestly hard to find at like your traditional grocery stores. So they have a lot of great health foods at an amazing price, and it gets sent straight to your door. So there's convenience, affordability, everything you need. And at this point, it's become so convenient because they have their buy it again feature. So at this point, I just click buy again, buy again, buy again, and add everything into my cart, and I can get our snacks, pantry staples, household staples, cleaning supplies so fast whenever I need it. I also love that they have so many filters. So this is really great if you've got dietary restrictions or if you just have preferences. Like we try to avoid seed oils, food dyes, things like that. And so it's really nice that you can just filter through their website with all of their filter options. Or if you have like a specific diet like paleo or Mediterranean, gluten-free, they have so many filters. So I'm sure they have a filter for you and your lifestyle. So before I show you guys everything I got, I wanted to share my new offer with you guys. It is so great. You You can click the link in my description box or go to thrivemarket.com/jaclynbbeauty60 to receive $20 off your first 3 orders and a free $60 gift when you join Thrive Market today. I know groceries can be pricey, so that's an amazing deal. I'll have my link and everything you need to know down in the description box. So I thought I'd show you guys everything I got. I got some new things. I got some repeats. You guys know I have my staples from Thrive Market, but this one I'm really excited for. This is a new purchase. I have never tried the Graza cooking oil, but I've seen it everywhere. I've seen people rave about it, and Sam had mentioned that he wanted to try it. So I got it on there. I've always hesitated to buy it because it can be pricey, but the price on Thrive Market was unbeatable. So I added that to my cart. In the name of having a girls' night, I thought popcorn was a must-have, and I've actually had this before, and it's so good. If you've not tried it, I really recommend it. Sam chose to get it, and he didn't know it was like a Kardashian brand, and we both tried it and loved it. So we've purchased this multiple times. Another favorite snack, I always have to get a siete chip, and these spicy dill pickle ones are literally the best. I tried these for the first time recently. Unreal, so good. I love the Catalina Crunch snack mix, but I've never had the spicy kick one. So good. And Sam loves these love corn snacks, so I got him some like mini bags with different flavors. I feel like he'll love that. And I also got Sam these mango and guava gummies. It's literally just mango and guava, so super clean, and he loves this flavor. With soup season coming up, I had to get my staples, which is some Kettle and Fire bone broth. I love the large size. This is really great for soups, and I just find we reach for it more as it's getting colder outside. And then I also got this new pasta I want to try. It's organic and sourdough. I don't know, I've never even heard of that, so I bet it's good. This will be great for a soup in the colder times. Another new snack I got are these chutties. I hope they'll be good. They seem good. I really was in a cheddar mood whenever I was getting all this stuff. And then I just got some pantry staples like these walnuts. My parents love these in cookies whenever I make them. And then I got some more baking soda, some organic pumpkin, Dijon mustard, and my favorite fig spread. This is so good. I also got this Just Ingredients protein powder. So I have followed her for years on Instagram. She does really great like clean foods and like more whole foods, good swaps and things like that. I've seen her post about this, but I've never tried it. So whenever I saw it on there, I was like, yay, I'm gonna try that out. I'll keep you guys updated on my Instagram if I like this. Then I got these Hue Gems. These are great like baking chocolate chips, and my brother, who has a lot of dietary restrictions, can have this. So anytime they come over, this will be great for him to have if I make a dessert or something. And then the last thing I got was some household cleaner. This is pumpkin and cinnamon spice. I thought this would be good to have like in our house as I'm cleaning the kitchen to give it a little fall scent. So that's everything I got from Thrive Market. Again, you can go to my link in the description to get $20 off your first 3 orders plus a free $60 gift. Such a great deal, seriously. With all that being said, let's dive into the questions and let's get baking. Maybe I'm being a little ambitious, but I think we should do 2 recipes. Is that crazy? I don't know, we'll see. But I want to make chocolate chip cookies because I've got small group tomorrow night, so I'm kind of like cheating and going ahead and making those. And then I also want to make like a fall recipe. I'm thinking like these pumpkin muffins. I went over to my friend's the other night for dinner, and she made these for dessert, and they were so good. And to be honest, they were even better the next day. So I've been kind of itching to make that recipe. So maybe we'll make both. So this is actually a gluten-free recipe, but I'm not using gluten-free flour, FYI. In my last Thrive Market order, I actually placed like a huge order for all my pantry staples, flour, all kinds of baking stuff that we'll still be using. So let's get all the ingredients and put all this together. Muffins by hand rather than using my KitchenAid because the recipe seems pretty simple and like I don't really need to do anything crazy. So while I'm doing this, I'll answer this question. Really hope I don't miss any ingredients because my ability to multitask is not the best. What has motherhood taught you? And honestly, it has taught me so many things. As I was like thinking about this and just thinking about what has it taught me, I feel like there's a ton of different answers. But the first thing that came to mind was actually not what I would have expected, and it was that my time is so precious, and it is really hard to give your time while being a mom, and I only have 1 baby, but it just feels like there's always something to do. And I also just want to maintain a sense of peace for my kids rather than like a chaotic, busy life. And so with that comes like not being able to say yes to as many things as we did before, and I'm okay with that. But I think what's hard is that if there's friends that aren't in the same stage as you, or people that I've just felt like people people don't understand that as much, and I think a lot of that is just me. I really care that people are happy with me and pleased with me. I wouldn't really consider myself a people pleaser because I'm not like that with everybody, but people that are close to us. Anyway, so that's been really challenging, but at the same time, like knowing that it's okay, and like ultimately my family is my priority, and so there are certain areas that I will sacrifice and certain areas that I won't. So for example, we go to small group once a week, and that's definitely really hard on Elena because she's out really late, but for our marriage it is a priority to be in community. And it's rough on me because if she's crying at group, you know, I've got to attend to her, and also if she's up really late, she tends to wake up in the middle of the night. But all that to say, it is absolutely worthwhile. So my time is just precious, and I'm so much more aware of that now, and I can only imagine the more kids you have, the more you feel that. I think going along what I said earlier is that motherhood has just also taught me the beauty of a very simple life, and I feel like there's just such deep meaning in having a family, but not just having a family, but having that be my ministry, but at the same time not putting my whole identity and stock in being a mom, because at the end of the day, we're raising our kids up to be independent and to have their own family one day. And so it's this like balance of being so keenly aware that these days are so short, and it is my job and role to raise her up to love the Lord and be equipped to go out into this crazy world, and at the same time not wishing these days away and just enjoying every single moment of it, I feel like is what I've learned the most. Wow, it is like really orange. It's because I have a lot of lamps in here because I love lamps, okay? But I thought I'd answer a few questions while we're waiting for the muffins to be finished. The first question is, how are you balancing working and being a mom? So it has honestly been such a challenge for me, and I'm so grateful that this is my job and it is flexible and I can really make my own schedule. But I think what's also hard is that since I am able to make my own schedule, it's also like all on me, and I am very committed with my deadlines with brands. So if I say I'm gonna have a video in on a specific date, like that is when I'll have it in. And it's just challenging because I can't predict if Elena is going to have a bad day or if she's not going to sleep well the night before, and it's just kind of challenging on that front, and also just adjusting to not having as much time in the day to film. Over time, I've just kind of learned how to do it, and also she has gotten way more predictable now that she's 7 months old. She naps really well, and we just have a really good routine. Some things that I've done that have been really helpful is, one, I have an amazing editor who seriously has been such a gift to me. I started using her before I even got pregnant, and that really helped lighten my load so much. I just got into like a really bad place with editing and working and just losing any spark I had for this job. And this is the kind of job where you can't just like fake it. Like, it's kind of obvious if you're not loving it, because you need to be you and have your personality or whatever. And so that has really been the biggest blessing, and I'm just so grateful. So I've really outsourced my editing. I also have a manager that helps me, you know, do brand deals and negotiations and all that kind of stuff. And then additionally, my mom comes once a week and just helps me out. So that has been so great. So if I need to go out and film something, or if I need to film something here, I know that somebody has Elena or is with Elena, and I don't feel as bad. Just like, I don't know, it feels so icky to me to have her playing on the floor next to me while I am talking to a camera. I don't know if that's just me. I don't know if I'm overthinking it, but I don't really want her to grow up seeing me talking to a camera all the time. Like, I want her to know that like when I'm with her, I'm with her. And that is something I have felt for years, even before we were pregnant, and those are conversations that me and Sam have had a lot. So as she's becoming more aware, I am slowly kind of changing when I film and how I film, and so having my mom come has been really helpful because she is with Elena and I can just do what I need to do. Some days, if I don't have any work to do that day, me and my mom just hang out, or we'll go run errands all together, which is really fun. I know I have a very unconventional job, but that is just how I am balancing being a mom and doing this full time, and I am so grateful for this job. It is such a blessing. Okay, this is a very interesting question, and I feel like a lot of people don't talk about this, so I'm going to talk about it. And it says, what are some healthy boundaries to have with male friends when you're married? That's very interesting. So I personally don't really think you should have male friends when you're married. That might be like an unconventional take. Now, we have a lot of friends that are couples, right? And I would, if I see my friend's husband, I'm not going to ignore him. Like, I would consider him a friend, but that relationship, my relationship with my friend's husband, is not between the two of us. It's usually in a group, and I think that's really important. Now, I do have male friends that I have from like high school that I still like talk with or whatever, but it's very sparingly. It's like, happy birthday, how are you doing? Now, if we see each other in person, like, really the only male friends I have are like family friends. So whenever we see each other, it's usually around our families being together, or me and Sam are together visiting him and his wife, or whatever it may be. So we're the original connection, if that makes sense. But I would not go out to lunch with him. Like, that's just not appropriate in my opinion. And I also try to avoid texting a male individually. So for example, last week we had dinner with one of our couple friends, and the guy had mentioned something very specifically that I was like, oh my goodness, I saw a great video on that, I'm gonna share it with you. So instead of sharing it to just him, I texted in a group, me, Sam, his wife, and him. I just feel like, one, I love a group text and I just love conversation, but two, I just feel like that's the wise thing to do. And so as much as I can help it, I try to not have individual conversation or texts with another guy. Now, you know, like, there might be something that if I wanted to surprise his wife with a coffee, I would text him really quick and be like, hey, what's her favorite coffee? I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but I just avoid continual conversation. So that's just my opinion. I really think it's important to be better safe than sorry, and not only that, but just being above reproach, I think, is really important. I just pulled the muffins out of the oven and they look so good. Guys, look how amazing this caraway muffin pan is. It's literally like, do you see me spinning the muffin? Okay, I'm also burning my fingers. Hold on. Literally, I can just spin the muffin. That's how nonstick these are. The best. I'll link them down below. Also, like, would you guys leave that mess and clean up after, or would you clean up now? I'm a clean up after person. Like, I can't be bothered to clean as I go. Anyway, as you can see, muffins are out of the oven, so let's start the cookies. And I did put the butter in the oven for a little bit and it melted too much, but now it's like perfect. I've done this cookie recipe so many times and shared it so many times with you guys, so I'm not gonna walk you through it, but obviously you'll see me make it. But I'll link it down below. It's the Magnolia cookie recipe. I've changed a few things, so I'll like put down below what I do. Let's get to making the dough and we'll keep answering questions. I say this every time, but I gotta say it again for the people in the back. The key to a proper chocolate chip cookie is using a giant chocolate bar. This is from Trader Joe's. It's the 1 pound dark chocolate. And the reason you wanna do this is because you wanna cut it up and create huge chunks. And with those chunks, you'll also get these little tiny shards of chocolate. So this is leftover from last time. So then you get huge chunks of chocolate and small pieces of chocolate throughout the cookie. It's so important. So I'm pouring in the leftovers from last time. And then I did the gems as well, and then I'll cut up a little bit to stick right on top so it has that gorgeous melted chocolate on top of the cookie before we put it in the oven. I thought we'd answer another question while I scoop out these cookies. This one's really fun, and it says, how did you and Sam meet? So if you guys don't know the story, which some of you guys are new here, so you might not, but Sam and my brother were actually best friends in college. So Sam lived with my brother and they were roommates, and so I'd always like heard about this Sam guy, and so that's how we met originally. And then we started dating right after they graduated, and we dated long distance our entire dating relationship. And to be honest, I would have never done that if my brother hadn't like known him, and like I knew my brother looked up to Sam so much, and they had like such a mutual friendship, and I knew how much he knew he loved the Lord. So that was really great. It almost felt like he was able to assess his character without any bias or anything. So that is the very long story short version of how we met. And similarly, somebody also asked how Sam asked my parents, or even if he did ask my parents for permission to marry me. I feel like the word permission sounds funny, but to ask my hand in marriage. I am very traditional, and I would have been very upset if he didn't ask my parents, but I know that that's something that was also really important to Sam. So without me knowing, on a weeknight, he drove all the way from Atlanta up to Tennessee to ask for my hand in marriage. That was one piece of the puzzle I could not connect whenever I was trying to figure out like when he was gonna propose, because I just kept thinking like, when would he have gotten the opportunity to talk with my parents, because they were 3 hours from him. But little did I know he drove up there. That was something I really appreciated and was so grateful that he did. And he also asked all my brothers, which I thought was really sweet. If you don't know, I've got 3 older brothers, so that was something that I didn't realize I would want until he told me he did it, and it meant the world to me. Speaking of Sam, a lot of people are also asking, how is intimacy after having a baby? And I feel like this was definitely my most asked question, and lucky you, I am totally fine to answer that question online, which I don't know if that's concerning. Honestly, for us, intimacy has been great, which I'm so surprised by. And I think that is very specific to me and just like some issues I've had in the past, and having a baby actually really helped them. Even like my hormones feel better, which is crazy. I don't know. I am so pleasantly surprised at how well my body has recovered from having a baby. Physically, mentally, all the things. It's not to say it didn't come with its challenges. Like, it's an adjustment to, you know, not be exhausted, and to also like physically get back into that after, you know, birthing out a baby. It just seems really scary, and it was really scary, but it's just amazing what the body can do and how quickly it can heal. Now again, this is my experience, so not everybody's experience is the same, and who knows, maybe next time it will be completely different. But now 8 months out, like, I can say it's really good. I feel like the only challenge that I face is really just, you know, my energy levels, and also having it be top of mind throughout the day, not just at night or whenever we make time for it. So that's something I'm really working on, and pursuing my husband in the little things. Also, little pro tip is get yourself a cookie scoop. This is the best thing ever. I've got multiple sizes. Also, you might be wondering why I'm putting these so weird on here. It's because these are gonna go in the freezer. I'm only gonna bake the cookie I'm gonna eat tonight, and I'll probably make one for Sam as well. Even though we're having girls' night, he is in the house. He's just upstairs. So yeah, I hope that answers that question. I have really just been working on prioritizing my marriage in that way, and I don't know, being intentional. It's easy to get distracted and get caught up in my work and being a mom and taking care of Elena, and so it's been really good for me to pause and think about, how can I love my husband, and not for the end goal being intimacy, but just to show him that I love him and I'm so grateful for him. Okay, so now I'm just adding the chocolate chunks that I cut right on top of the cookie. I feel like this just gives it that like homemade yummy cookie look. So I'm just gonna set this in the freezer, let them get cool for about 30 minutes, and then I'll throw these into a plastic bag, and then they can touch in the bag without like sticking together permanently, if that makes sense. And then I'll bake some of these for a small group tomorrow, and that way if we have any left over, I can keep them frozen and just pull them out anytime we need. I just tidied up the kitchen and the cookies are finishing up, and I wanted to try the muffin with you guys without thinking on my way over here. I just started eating it, and let me tell you, it is very good. Like so fluffy. I also saw this Olipop at the store today, and it's crisp apple, and I can't remember if I've had this before, but I'm an apple girl. So I'm excited to try this. This reminds me of the Martinelli's sparkling apple cider. Like, that's my choice of drink for like New Year's. Different, but similar. That's the cookies. While the cookies are cooling, I decided to put on my pajamas. Something that I've decided just randomly that I just want to own matching pajamas. I literally look like a hobo going to bed with my literal pajama pants with holes in them because I love my pajama pants and Target stopped making them and I've had them for years, and like a giant t-shirt, which like no shame, nothing wrong with that. It's super cozy, but you know, I like to look a little elevated, so I got this set from Target. It's very, very cute. It's like a really dark brown, and they have a lot of cute colors. So I'll link it down below. It is an incredibly soft. I thought we'd continue our night by getting unready together, and I thought I'd answer another question. This question, I said the last question was my most asked question, but this one might be runner-up or might be the most asked question. I really don't know, but people are asking, are we ready for baby number 2? When are we wanting baby number 2? Age gap, all the things. So it's funny, if you would have asked me like a month postpartum, I would have been like, I don't think I'd have another baby. Like, this is insane. How do people have babies? And then I got into a rhythm and a routine, and I got out of my like major depression fog, and now I'm like, I want 10 babies, which I'm kidding when I say that, but I do love kids and I love having babies, and so it's definitely been on my mind. But I will say it is very important for me, for my body to fully recover, and I have been really working on getting strong again because my first half of my pregnancy I was so sick, bedridden for months. I really lost a lot of my muscle, and so one of my goals has been to become strong again, and so I've been working towards that, and I feel like my body is really getting strong and recovering really well, but I know it takes a lot of time. Like, there are things going on in here that I don't really know like if it's fully recovered. I feel like it is, but I don't know. So I'm not trying to have like a baby back to back to back, but like that's people's opinion. Like, some people would think a 2-year age gap is back to back. I don't really have a direct answer, but yes, I'm thinking about baby number 2, but not in the way of like, oh my gosh, I'm so ready, but in the way of like, okay, what do we want their age gaps to be? But honestly, because my pregnancy was so rough, I am really scared. Not really, but like, I don't know how I'll physically be able to like take care of Elena, because I remember when I was that sick, I was like, I don't know if I can ever do this again. Like, it was so bad, oh my goodness, and I'm like forgetting how bad it was. But I've been doing her baby book, and I was looking back at photos, and I was like, I literally was in bed for 2 months, like all day every day, did not get out of bed. I was passing out. Like, it was just rough. It was really rough, which I know is not normal. And then I did eventually get on medicine to help, but who knows, maybe this next pregnancy will be different. I'm gonna start taking my makeup off. So somebody asked how to make friends as adults and as a married couple. It is actually really hard. Like, after college, I feel like making friends is just so challenging, and I guess because it's so easy in college, because like you're all kind of doing the same thing, you're all, you know, in classes, in the same stage of life, whereas whenever you get out of college, like, I don't know, it just feels really different, and it's harder to make friends. In our marriage, where we have made the closest friendships has been through doing married small groups and through our church. I think we're also in like an extra challenging space because me and Sam both work from home, and his company is in Atlanta, so we both don't really have like coworkers, so we really have to like put ourselves out there to make friends. But I do find that like once you make 1 or 2 couple friends, especially at a church or whatever, then you can start meeting their friends, and then you can make connections that way, and that is really helpful. Yeah, I would say like being in community is so important as a believer, and we just find that being in a married small group is like the best way to do that, because you're striving for something together, right? You're striving to have a good marriage all together. That's the common goal, and then on top of that, you're all believers, so you've got that goal together, and then if you've got kids, so you've got all these things in common, and that really helps create a sense of camaraderie and also a commonality between all of you guys. And it's also really healthy to like, I don't know, be challenged challenged on your beliefs. It's not like everybody in our small group believes the exact same things as we do, and have really good discussion over it, and just like talk about things and talk about what you're going through in your marriage. I just find that's like really bonding and a great way to make friends. But I know some people also make friends through like extra activities, like playing, I don't know, pickleball, things like that. I think that's a great way. And I just started a women's small group on Thursday nights, and that has been so amazing. I cannot explain how life-giving it has been for me, especially just in this postpartum season where I don't really get to go out by myself and just like sit under the word of God. Sundays I have Elena with me in church, and a small group I have her with me as well, so I feel like I'm easily distracted. And I don't know, this has just been such a blessing for me to just sit under teaching and just be there and be fully present. Also, if you're curious, I'm using this micellar water from, I don't know how to say this brand, I don't know, it's French, it's amazing. I have a lot of their stuff. And the last thing I'll say to this is also pray. Like, the Lord will provide community. It might take time, like it does take time. It takes time to build friendships, to build community, and just to get to know people around you, and that's okay. And just be patient in the waiting and trust that God will bring you people, but also like put yourself out there and go to things and open up to people. Like, that helps people feel close, and then they open up, and then you connect, and then you have like this bond with that person. So that's my advice on that. I feel like, is my makeup off? I feel like it's off. It honestly feels so weird to be like getting in bed without Sam here. I just texted him and was like, okay, you can come down now. Well, I was gonna show you guys my Nod Pod, my favorite sleeping mask. I don't know where it went, but it's this like weighted sleeping mask. It's amazing. You might have seen it on social media. They sent it to me like a while ago, and they asked to work with me, and I was like, that's not something I'd ever buy. So I said no. And then I started using it whenever I was pregnant. Life-changing. I need to reach back out to them now that I use it all the time, and I love it. Anyway, I've been saying I'm gonna read this book for months now. It's just been chilling around. It's gorgeous. I mean, absolutely gorgeous. It's a Jane Austen book. I've never read Jane Austen, but I hear everybody talk about Jane Austen, so I'm like, okay, gotta read a Jane Austen book. No one told me she was like Old English. I'm having the hardest time comprehending what I'm reading. I am not like one of those intelligent readers, okay? Like, I'm here for a good time, and please don't use like super big fancy words on me. This has been challenging for me to read. Now, I will say I'm not even past the first chapter, and I don't know if it's because like I don't have much time to read anymore. But yeah, I turned to the first page and I was like, I'm sorry, what? That's Jane Austen? Like, I'm imagining Jane Austen has an Instagram, and I just like don't know. I don't follow her. Which, please do not come at me. Like, I know that she's like a classics writer, but I just thought she was like a good writer. I didn't realize she was like old classics. So one of these days I will read this book. I think it's a romance book, and I'm really not a romance book girl. I actually don't think I've ever read like a straight romance book. What's that one by Francine Rivers? Maybe Redeeming Love is considered a romance book. I did read that one, and I think that's the only one. I think I hear Sam coming down, so we're gonna enjoy our cookies, and the last question is gonna be with him. Okay, Sam is here.
I'm here.
So the question is, how do you feel like our marriage has been after having a baby?
Yeah, what do I got?
I don't know.
Popcorn.
Oh yes, that's exactly what that is.
Purely a marriage perspective, I would have expected like, oh my gosh, like we're just not even gonna want to look at each other. We're not gonna want anything to do with one another. She's got her stuff, I've got my stuff. That's exactly how it's been. 100. I'm kidding. No, it hasn't been like that. I mean, I just feel like we've gotten pretty good at being around one another, working together.
I think we fought more when we got Teddy.
100%.
Than when we
fought more
Elena.
when we got Teddy than Elena.
Like over Teddy, if that makes sense. Like, so like a dog is great training for having a baby.
Yeah, I stand by that. But no, I would say like it's been really, really good. If I just look at our marriage, like I'm like,
it's only gotten better. Right?
It's almost like I would have to really struggle and scrounge to find like something that's been like really bad.
And I don't think that happens by chance. Alright, well with that, I am going to end this video. Thank you guys for being here, and I hope you enjoyed our girls' night with a little bit of Sam.
Yeah.
To join in on the way, don't forget to check out Thrive Market down below. You can get $20 off your first 3 orders plus a free $60 gift with my link down below, so definitely check it out. And thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.
Ciao.
Bye.